Yeah.
Okay, we are live with Slice Dice Dreadcast. I'm your host, Joey Infante, coming in from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm here with my co-host, Jim Backus.
Yes, I am also a host. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? I'm doing swell. We had some technical difficulties tonight, and the Don was supposed to join us to talk about 2 old school Italian horror films, but instead we just got a bunch of feedback and static sounds, and didn't work out because he lives in a treehouse in the middle of California. So when he gets the carrier pigeon package with the new headset, he'll come back on and we'll talk about Black Sunday, not Black Friday, Black Sunday, and Don't Torture a Duckling. But we didn't want to leave our listeners hanging tonight, so we recruited one of the men on the network that loves to slay the mic, Mr. Jerry Herring. Welcome back to Slice and Dice.
Welcome back. They didn't want to leave you hanging, audience, but they did want to leave you disappointed. So here I am.
Yes. Let's disappoint and tickle the fancy. Oh, man. So we're just going to bullshit for a little bit tonight. Talk about the genre and whatever the hell else comes up.
And I want to start this off. Y'all, whenever people come on your show, you ask them a question. It's my turn.
Right. Ooh, shit.
Jim,
I like it.
It's time for Jim to step up to the plate. Jim, with your
I never have.
With your huge background in the paranormal, how does that affect you watching paranormal movies? When you're watching a movie like Paranormal Activity, how does it affect you with your background? Are you more likely to enjoy it or less likely?
If nothing else, it makes me enter it with more of a fine-tooth comb, I would say. I get kind of more critiquing movie, but most of them are really not how it really goes in the real world, more just like the TV shows and stuff like that. It's not like we really do. But I've probably seen a ton of, I don't even know how many paranormal movies, but actually as panned as the first Paranormal Activity was, that with like the setup camera and the found footage type stuff, the way it was shot was probably the most, as far as like trying to investigate your home goes, setting up a camera, leaving it in while you're sleeping, blah, blah, blah. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I get very disappointed because they're not at all like this with investigating goes.
So, are there any paranormal movies that have stuck out to you as actually doing a good job with it, or do you pretty much all like just it kind of ruins the genre for you?
Really, probably my favorite one. I don't even know if you would call it a paranormal movie, but Insidious 1.
See, that's on my list.
No spoilers.
I was going to say, that's on my list of movies to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard only good things from you, and I heard Joey yell spoilers last time also.
Yeah, I couldn't talk about it, but I told him to watch it. I'm telling you to watch it. Because when I watched it, it made me actually, like I said last episode, was to me the way I believe the paranormal exists, and just my personal beliefs. It's probably the closest thing to how I think than any other movie that's come out. So just the way they describe it, and it's not really. I wouldn't even say it's paranormal. It's really. Because they're not investigating ghosts or anything like that per se, but it's like otherworldly, other dimension-y type stuff. So
you know what?
Yeah.
Next time I come on, it should be to review. It should be to review at least the first Insidious movie.
Oh, I could definitely do that. I love it. You both gotta
Let's
watch
do the
it.
trilogy. Fuck it.
Yeah, chapter 2 is actually good too. They're just very well. They're not bad movies. They're really well done. The fuck are
I
you
have
doing?
the first one on DVD. So I will check it out.
How much are they on Blu-ray? I'll fucking buy them on Blu-ray. I'm about to look it up right now.
I think they have like the 3-pack. But yeah, we could definitely do that. That sounds like a plan. We'll coordinate.
Like I said, I always like my one idea was trying to do the Insidious movies, the Paranormal Activity movies, the Conjuring movies, doing like series movies like that per episode. For an episode, that would be pretty interesting, and it's topical. They're still coming out with the movies. It's recent. I think people would be interested in hearing about it. Much like
Fuck it. Trexter just commented how the commentary on Friday the 13th was great. Well, commentary Insidious right now. Pop it on. Let's go.
I don't have Insidious though, but you can get all 3 movies for under $10 a piece. So I'd make that investment.
All right, maybe we could do that for August. We'll set that up for August.
I'd be down. I'll run through those 3 movies with y'all.
It's gonna take you a month to watch a fucking movie?
No, but we're booked through middle of July.
Yeah, but I was just curious because when I think about if I'm watching, like I work retail, if I'm watching something on TV that involves a retail setting, I automatically go, oh, that's completely true, or that would never happen. Right. And I don't even enjoy that. And then I thought about that with Jim having such a paranormal background, and him, like when he went off about the dust in the pictures 2 episodes ago, I was applauding you in the middle of my job because I was like, yes, most of the time, those are just particles of dust, guys. They're literally, we saw something fly through, and then they slow it down, and it's like a stick figure. It's like, well, yeah, it's a bug. Johnny's dead wife come back from the grave. He just happens to look like a stick bug. I don't know. And I was like, yes, fucking Jim, get him. Because if you're gonna investigate something like that, you need to have a heavy dose of, can I disprove this first? Anytime I watch any of the paranormal shows, if they just automatically everything is evidence of it being real, I'm like, no, you have to at least try to disprove it first, then you can get into that. That's how I feel. And I was like so happy when Jim just went off on the dust. I was like, get him.
Yeah, that was a great observation for sure, dude. I mean, I would have, not my expertise, but like
I did feel bad.
Oh, I know you felt bad. I could see it in your face.
I don't think she took it well.
Yeah,
she was very disappointed, but just like you say, and you say watch the TV shows. I've actually been in all these TV shows were filming for 3 days straight, and then watching the end product, I'm like, damn, dude, that's what they put on TV. Like, shit, it's very disappointing, and I can just being a fan who doesn't do this, who doesn't investigate personal life. Even if you find it boring, if you find it fake, knowing that what they're showing you just is not fact at all. And I could definitely show you literally perfect examples of how TV shows fake stuff. But they need ratings, and I always tell people, if you're watching a TV show and they have to fill an hour in the same place for 3 days, you would expect them to have the best evidence ever, but realistically, most of them shows don't have very good evidence at all. But yeah, when you go to a commercial break, you're going to come back whenever you see somebody screaming and swearing and scared, as opposed to a hallway by themselves in silence, which is what we really do.
And to be honest, a lot of times when I watch those shows, for me, the entertainment value I get is usually based off the personalities of the host. I don't like watching ghost hunters. They're boring as shit to me. But I do like watching. Is it Ghost Adventures? Where the dude's all the lead Zach is all buff and shit. They're entertaining to me. Like Ghost Adventures is at least entertaining to me, even if they're like evidence. I don't even care about their evidence. I just want to see him yell at demons for fucking 10 minutes. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, and sadly, he influences way too many. We call them rookies or newbies, and they come into places like trying to act like him, not realizing that he's just in college. Like that's what he is. He's an actor on TV, basically. A man and try to provoke and try to get a demon. Come fight me. Come scratch me. Come push me up against the wall. We're like, shut up. Stop. You look like an idiot. Just stop it. I don't know. I could go on for hours about this shit.
Well, that was my question. I just wanted a little piece of your mind on that kind of thing, because it's been bugging me since, and I was just going to Facebook message you, and I just haven't had the time to ask you. So I'm actually glad I ended up here tonight, because now I got to ask you.
There are a few movies out there, and even like not even the popular ones, but like ones that I've watched, you know, in the deep catalog of Netflix or something, where I'm like, oh, this is what is that?
God, is that you?
Fan or something going on?
Oh, I think my laptop started making that noise, and my microphone's resting on it.
Are you overheating?
Better?
Yeah, you're good now. But there are a couple movies on Netflix that I've seen that I'm like, oh, you know, it's pretty. This is a pretty good adaptation.
Mm-hmm. Adaptation. There you go.
As far as what you know really goes on with real paranormal investigators, and so I'm not always disappointed, but majority of the time, yeah, I'm kind of critiquey. And I'm like, yeah, that's just over the top, very fake, you know, very forced.
Mm-hmm.
And they watch too many of them TV shows. But
all right,
other than that, yeah.
You didn't have that Tar Man last time I was here, right? That Tar Man new? Did you just get that?
I had all my shit over here in a bag, and I just put it all up.
Oh, okay.
I've had all this shit for years. I just have too much to set up behind me, or else you won't be able to see anything. I try to change it around every now and again.
Fair enough. I have a bunch of like expensive Godzilla figures that I haven't taken out of their box and put up since I moved. So they're just sitting in their boxes waiting to be unpacked and put out.
And what's it called? Speaking of things being realistic, like to shift scenes a little, I worked in a hospital for 9 years. So, you know, obviously shows like Grey's Anatomy and shit is like not happening. But there's a film that came out recently. I don't know if you guys have seen it, The Corpse of Anna Fritz.
Never even heard of it.
Never even heard of it. So this was actually on Phil Perone's top list, I think, last year. And I reviewed the film for horrortalk.com, and it was all right. It wasn't horrible, but I was shocked that he put it up there, you know, because like I said, my problems with it was too far-fetched. Like it was absolute, like, this is not happening in a hospital, you know? So, you know, where do you find the ground to break reality or not? I mean, I guess obviously every film's different, depends on the tone and everything, but you know, I know. Oh, it stopped. Sorry, the sound stopped. Fucking you know, where's the line in the sand, you know? I guess, like I said, it depends on each film. Is it a straight based in reality? Is it fucking comedy where we break hold of reality and let all shit loose? I mean, it really depends.
I think it also has to deal a lot with your own personal experiences. Like with you, if you're watching something that involves in hospital, you're going to be a bit harsher on it. Jim with paranormal investigations, me with retail. Wow, mine sucks. Holy shit. But like
that's not how you check that out.
Yeah, your personal experiences in life are going to kind of make it to where you're sometimes going to change your opinion on something and how much what's that word, not that word, that phrase called your believability, your disbelief, your suspension of disbelief for a movie gets higher and lower depending. I also feel like sometimes on a lower budget movie I have more suspension of disbelief because I give them more leeway as compared to a bigger budget movie where I'm like, come the fuck on, that couldn't happen. You had people, you paid $20 billion to make this movie. You could have spent $20 to research that. Fuck out of here.
See, actually, I think the opposite because, for example, I reviewed a movie on Bloody Bits the other day. It was called Death Pool. It was about a guy who drowned women in a pool. That's what the film was about. And like they were going to like porno shoots at pool parties, and he's just like whacking broads left and right, drowning them in pools along Los Angeles. And it's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Come on. The way that they could have did the film where it was more believable, but the way it unraveled, I was just like, my suspension of disbelief was not. It was, I was not believing this, you know. But at the same time, it was an extremely small budget. You know, they didn't need any special effects. It was all straight dialogue, drowning, so you get some underwater shots. But ultimately, the budget was small, and there was no supernatural, nothing that you needed any kind of crazy effects for. Where, like, if you go want to see Transformers: The Jedi Knight, whatever the fuck that stupid movie is, yeah, I'm not believing robots are coming to fucking here. Now, what do they got? British accents or something? What the fuck's going on?
They have a lot of times they have racist accents.
Oh fuck! I only saw the first. I think maybe the second.
I went and saw the first one in the movie theaters. I took my mom and my fiance, who was just my girlfriend at the time, to go see Transformers, and I had to apologize afterwards. I thought I was going to be disowned by my mom. My girlfriend was going to break up with me. It was a terrible thing, and I've never watched another Transformers movie. I stick with the classic animated one from like 86 or
84. Yeah, 84, 86.
I have the steel. I just got the steel case Blu-ray in from Amazon because they had it on sale for like $11. I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Oh shit. Trin T dropped the message.
Oh shit, my boy, hold up. My boy Trin, let me tell y'all something. Trin is like one of the coolest listeners I've ever met through Facebook, through all of this. Like, dude started a Facebook group just so he could like talk about all the podcasts he's listening to. Because he listens to so many, because he's a truck driver and everything. So fucking shout out to Trin. Trin is awesome. I love that dude.
Well, you'll change it soon after you hear what he said.
Oh,
even I see Jerry still whoring around.
Jerry, I listened to your Puppet Master show today, and I'm offended.
Oh shit! No, he just said you're still whoring around.
Yeah.
We welcome all whores to Slice Dice. That's
for real. I'm gonna be. Yeah. I already have another. It's not scheduled yet, but I'm gonna be on Speaker Brains. The podcast is on Horrorphilia about music. I'm gonna be on their show at some point here soon. So I'm always floating around somewhere.
Damn, man, you better get some fucking knee pads.
Yeah, for real. I'm starting to get these lines around my corner of my lips.
Chapstick, Aquaphor, you'll be all set.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So, question: before I got a list here of like what's your best favorite type things, but before we go down that route, we covered a movie recently called Nightmare on Elm Street, and you've covered it on Kill the Cast, and we definitely have contrasting viewpoints on the film. So let's open up the stage here to let our listeners know how you feel about the film.
Okay. First, Jim, do you own a gun and the ability to travel very quickly in some weird metaphysical world.
I will not be telling you that until I hear what you have to say.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. Nightmare on Elm Street fucking sucks. Freddy Krueger in that movie, like, I'm sorry, he's not scary. His character, the idea of it is fantastic. The execution, however, is god awful. Yes, there are some really cool special effects in the movie with Tina getting thrown around the room and Johnny Depp's scene and all that, but the ending is fucking terrible. I probably would like the movie better if Heather had not been in the movie. If they would have got anyone who could act like this, watch. You close your fucking mouth. You don't have to have it open all the time. It's not needed. You don't have to do that. Every time I look at her, she's... And then I do not believe her and Johnny Depp character are a relationship at all. There is no chemistry there. She don't, like, they don't even want to, like, she won't even kiss him. And it's Johnny fucking Depp. Like, come on. I would blow Johnny Depp right now if he showed up at my house.
Jim's
like,
rubbing his forehead.
Are you fucking kidding me? But no, I don't think Freddy is scary. I don't think the movie works. I find there's a lot of potential behind the idea, but it does not work for me. I just don't like that movie. I wish I knew. I wonder if I can find my notes on Nightmare.
Put it on. Put it
He's
on.
looking at me with his dead white eyes. Here's my notes on Married with Children and Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, there it is. A Nightmare on Elm Street. I wish I took notes that made sense after looking at them after a long time. But I don't know. The mom's annoying. The dad, like, there's no, for that movie, the one likable character is the first one to die. Tina's like the one character that I actually like, and she's the first one to go. I don't find any of the characters interesting. The movie just does not hold me, and I wish I could remember everything that I said in the Nightmare on Elm Street review that I did, so that I could bring up better points and don't just, because I know right now I probably just sound like I fucking hate Nightmare on Elm Street just because. But I don't. I don't like the movie. It doesn't work for me. I told myself I was going to watch more. I've seen a lot of them. I know I've seen 1, 3, 4. I think I've seen 5. I've seen the fucking New Nightmare. And I saw the remake. I saw the remake with Kenneth. We went to the movie theater to see it, and I fell asleep during the scene in the convenience store. But I quickly I didn't fall asleep for the rest of the movie. I just during that scene, I kind of just nodded off for a few seconds and then woke back up, and it kind of freaked me out because I was like, I should not fall asleep while watching a Freddy movie. That's kind of the entire fucking point.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to disagree.
I know everyone disagrees with me. Even Alex used to not like the movie either, and then they did their review on it for Skeleton Crew, and then he was like, "No, I think I like this movie now." And I was like, "You're dead to me."
What's it called? I definitely agree with you on one thing though. The ending, not the very, very ending. The stinger at the end, I think is good, but it is a little, becomes like a pre-Home Alone attempt to take down Freddy. All of a sudden she could set booby traps up left and right. But at least they give you the context of it. She has a book about it. She didn't just rig it up. So, and they definitely had a relationship. Come on.
What? There is no Joey. If you think they had a relationship, I'm really starting to worry about your marriage.
Their relationship was like a children who grew up together and were best friends growing up and hit puberty and said, "Hey, let's start, a boyfriend girlfriend thing." But they know each other for their entire lives. It's not like a intimate little thing. It's kind of like best friends being boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah. Jerry's favorite character was the whore guys, Tina. Right?
She's not a whore. She's fucking
like the whore.
Okay, first of all, she's not a whore because he never once gave her money. I looked. No money was exchanged at all. Okay.
I think I saw it on the night table.
I saw it was a deleted scene.
Your cat fair, bitch, get out.
Yeah. But no, I just don't like if they have a relationship, I could see it from Jim's point of view, but Johnny Depp's character no longer gives a shit because he's not even willing to try to stay awake whatsoever. He's not even really willing to get involved in this. When he's asked earlier on about the dreams, he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to get involved. He just doesn't care. And it's probably because he wants to get laid and she ain't giving it up. And as much as her mouth is open, you would think he'd get a little head or something. But that doesn't happen. But I think my other problem with the movie is it's really hard to understand what the rules of Freddy are. There are a lot of contradicting things that happen, not only this movie, but later on and further in the movies, it gets, as the sequels go on, it gets way fucking worse. You cannot get down a steady, these are the rules of this demon. These are his powers. These are what he can do. They're so fast and loose with it that, and to me, that makes it to where a lot of people like to talk about the mythology of Freddy Krueger, and I'm like, that mythology is a fucking mess. It is all over the place. And I understand because as you go on in the movies, it's not like you had one person who set a strong foundation of what the rules are. They can play really fast and loose and change it out as they go on for what they need for that movie. But if it wasn't for Robert Englund playing him so many times and establishing him as a character that you could always rely on to be a certain way, I don't know if that movie would hold up. If it was just A Nightmare on Elm Street, if it was just that one movie, would we still talk about it today? I don't think we would be.
That's a good point.
I don't know, because I think more people talk about the original than they do any of the sequels. So, and I definitely when I said when we talked about it was there was nobody else that could have played that character. I mean, he made that character who it was. So, you know, I think sequel or not, it still would have been a classic. I mean, if we talk about all the other ones back then, but you don't really talk about any of these sequels. You know, you think of the original, you know, but I don't know. I think
Sorry.
I agree with you, Jim. No one else could have played him. In fact, when I was on the NFW podcast, Kane Hodder was brought up, and Wes Craven apparently offered the role of Freddy to Kane Hodder, and something happened. Kane Hodder didn't take it, and I was like, well, I'm glad Kane Hodder didn't take it because I would not want to see Freddy Krueger looking like Jason X. I don't want to see that. But they could have had him play Heather, and the movie would have been better. Heather ruins the movie for me. She really does. Her acting is not strong enough to be a lead character, not strong enough to be a lead girl. And I think a lot of my problems for that movie happens because of her. Her acting is so bad that it just negatively makes me start picking apart this movie way more than anyone should. So I blame her.
I remember what
Jacking
I think
off to
when
her?
I talked about it. No, I remember saying that I think Courtney Cox.
Oh yeah, I have
auditioned for
that in my notes. Where is it?
Dirty Dancing.
Demi Moore, Courtney Cox, and Jennifer Grey all auditioned for the role.
So if any one of them played, would you think any different?
I think had you had, and I said this on Kill the Cast, I think if you had a stronger actress playing Heather, I wouldn't be so taken out of the movie constantly because I'm constantly taken out of the movie by her. So had you had gotten someone stronger to play it, I think I would be a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street today.
See, I think she's one of a kind, and she's not the greatest actor, that's for sure. I agree, but I think she played the role well. I mean, I definitely was on her side. I did not, want to see her get whacked. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for her. Even at the end, I remember watching the end when I was younger and being like, "Oh no, he fucking got them! Holy shit!" No! I mean, I could definitely see why people say, like Mike from Death by Podcast is like, I don't think it holds up as much as it used to, and I could understand. but I think and nostalgia plays a big factor in this. But at the same time, that first one I think is, iconic, classic. I don't think the logic's that messed up. As the sequels unravel for sure, but in the first one, I mean, it's pretty. You grab the hat, you can bring them out. Then at the end, it gets a little shoddy. Like I said, that ending, not the best ending. If it wasn't for nostalgia, it'd probably be down a couple, but a 4 instead of a solid 5, I think. But I think at the same time, also watching it in the dark, if you showed this to, a youngster, they'd be like, oh shit, this is a scary movie.
Of course, Trin T agrees with Jerry, saying he's right on point with the concept of Nightmare better than what they put on the screen. So your boy loves you, apparently. I don't agree with you. But.
Well, I think the concept behind Freddy is fucking fantastic. I think the idea and the premise behind A Nightmare on Elm Street is great. I just think they should have got another actress for Heather. They should have made a better, solid mythology before Freddy and got some rules down and shit like that. I think those are the two biggest problems that they should have dealt with, because that would have greatly enhanced the movie. Because I would have, at the end of it, I would have been, okay, I get this. He can do this, this, but he can't do that. That's why she could do this and this to him, and he couldn't respond. Because you're sitting there telling me that he has no power in the real world, but he turned their fucking staircase into marshmallow fluff. Like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Also, I don't know. I just, now that half your, or at least 90% of your audience hates me. Hey, doggy. See, the doggy agrees. I heard that. He said,
"That's
fuck
my
Freddy."
daughter, not the dog.
Oh,
she got a cold.
oh, hit that NyQuil up.
Hey, you need some Robitussin, hon?
For real. Some vapor rub?
Let's see. I have to run. But anyway.
Just you can run all you want. We're
this
not.
This is our bullshit show. Bullshit show.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask me, Jerry?
Let's see. Okay.
I thought you said there were two things. Or did you ask me to?
I did ask you to. It was how you watching paranormal movies works with you being an investigator, how that makes you feel, and if you had any that you actually really dug.
Oh, okay.
I just had those in my head since I had no prep time. I was on my way home from work when fucking I got hit up, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll come on.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, like I said, most of the ones that I like are the ones that nobody's ever heard of, or they're just in the back catalog somewhere. But they're really the ones.
How do you feel about the Japanese? Do a lot of ghost story movies. Do you watch it? Do you like the Japanese ones? Do you watch those a lot?
No, I'm not a fan of. If anybody, Joey knows this, but no, I'm not a fan of like subtitles and whatnot.
I'll be back, Jack.
Yeah,
but I've seen a few. I mean, obviously, but they're the way they do. I do like a lot of their movies. They do a very creepy. Shoot 'em is very creepy. Very, I don't know.
I get what you're saying on subtitles. I have to be in the right mood to watch a movie with subtitles because I'm trying to pay attention to the screen. And if I'm watching something that I have to review, I'm taking notes. And I can't read the screen and take notes at the same time and pay attention to what the fuck's going on in the screen, trying to catch small background details, stuff like that. I can't do it.
I said when I finally got Joey to agree to change the format a little bit on the show, because we were getting a little bit too close to Death by Podcast, and we're supposed to be the Death by Podcast type of show. It's kind of like more slasherish, more, horror type of stuff, not it up. and our first couple episodes were not first couple, but we were doing a lot of foreign films, a lot of subtitles, and I was just not into it at all because he was telling me, yeah, it took me like 5 hours to watch this because I kept rewinding and going back and I was reading the subtitles, and then I had to go back and watch the scene. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. All right, I don't have that much time in my hands, so I just want to watch the hour-and-a-half movie and be able to just review it. I can't go back and the whole damn time. I'm like, I didn't see half the damn movie because I didn't get to look up. I was reading the words trying to figure out what they were saying. So that's not fun to me. So
I'm with you. One of our early episodes for Kill the Cast was I Saw the Devil. I love I Saw the Devil. And the only reason it was easy for me to take notes on it because I had seen it so many times. So I didn't have to give a shit about the subtitles. I knew what the fuck was going on. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to I really don't want to review a movie that is subtitled only. Give me a shitty dub. I'll take a shitty dub. I grew up on Godzilla movies. I'll take a shitty dub every day of the week.
Luckily, I've been able to find a lot of shitty subs on, the way I watch my movies. I'm not going to put it out there, but yeah, I've lucked out most of the time that I didn't have to really read. They were English subbed, and they were like, I'll tell Joey or James or whatever, and they were like, "What? You got to watch English subs?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." I never read shit.
All right, well, I'm going to fire some questions off at you. Okay, so obviously you're a big horror fan and all that. So I got to ask, out of the big icons of horror, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Pinhead, who is your absolute favorite?
Killer?
Well, out of all the icons you have in horror movies, Freddy, Jason, Michael, Pumpkinhead, Chucky. Okay, so it is Michael Myers.
Of course.
I mean, I see a lot of Michael going on behind you, so I see. Well, I do got to ask though. The picture above the Jason Voorhees mask. What is that? It looks like Michael joined a metal band.
That is actually my friend. She's a model. She does horror photography and whatnot. I'll show you a close-up of it real quick here. What it looks like.
Oh, okay. So it's not Michael joining a metal band. It's Michael as a female.
It's a hot model with a mask on.
Hey, I'm with that. I am all for that. I'm all for hot models. I love when you saw it there. Jason took down Freddy. End of story. We're done. Jason wins.
Sure.
Okay. Let me think. So do you have a specific subgenre of horror that you would pick as your favorite? Like me personally, I'm a huge creature feature fan. I especially natural creature features. Jaws, alligator, orca, piranha. I love those movies. Do you have a favorite subgenre? What is it?
I guess my second favorite aside from slasher would be I guess zombie.
Zombie. Okay. In zombies, what's your favorite zombie movie all time? You get one zombie movie for the rest of your life. What are you picking?
Night of the Living Dead.
The original? Or the 90s?
The original.
Oh.
No, the original. Because it was filmed basically 20 minutes from where I live, and it's big around where I live, and there's a museum in Evans City, where it was filmed, and yeah, we have a lot of festivals up around here, and yeah, that would be my number one zombie movie. Yeah.
Very good. Night of the Living Dead actually holds up really well when you watch it nowadays. Not necessarily the zombie part, but the social commentary part is almost at a point now where it's always going to be timeless. And if you like watching that original movie, even without the zombies, it's always going to be good. It's always going to hold up. And I would love to watch that again. I haven't watched that forever.
Yeah, it's definitely very much rewatchability. it's so it's so old, but you don't realize how old it is and how popular it still is today, and how much it still holds up as far as being one of the most iconic films in the genre. And debate about fast zombies, slow zombies, all that bullshit. I don't know. It's just it's even though he's done so many, Romero's done so many movies in the zombie. His first was it's just great. It's well done. It's like you said, the social commentary back then with the African American lead, and yeah, it was very well done. He took a lot of like, I don't even know what the fuck word I'm thinking of, but he reached out to try to make the best film he could, and did a lot of things that maybe not anybody would back then, but it worked. I mean, he's still huge today. So
yeah, and it looks beautiful. I love black and white movies, and man, when I watch a black and white movie, especially if I can get like a really nice Blu-ray, and people are always like, Jared, why are you getting Blu-rays of black and white movies? And I'm like, because black and white movies look fucking beautiful. If they get a good transfer, on Blu-ray, they look fantastic.
What's your favorite zombie movie?
Oh shit, what would be my favorite zombie movie? I'm not a huge zombie movie fan. I'm trying to think. Do I have a lot of zombie movies? There's Astro Zombies. That's obviously not the choice. Shit. What would I don't know. I really like Return of the Living Dead because I like the comedy aspect of it while still treating it like a true horror movie.
Of course.
I feel like there's a zombie movie that I'm not thinking of. A lot of people don't count it, but if you've ever seen, it's a Vincent Price movie, The Last Man on Earth, because there's a huge debate in the I Am Legend adaptations whether they're vampires or zombies, and different movies have done it a different way. And I always felt Last Man on Earth was more zombie, and I've always really, really liked it. Hey, would you consider mummy movies zombie movies? Like, I mean, they're not eating people at all, but they are at what point is it stop being a zombie and it becomes something else? Like, what would we consider the rules for what is a zombie and what's not a zombie? Like, a reanimated body that comes back to life from the dead is a zombie, but a mummy's the same way.
I guess fuck, dude. Now you're just getting crazy. I don't know. I guess it has to do with the method they got brought back, or like that. I mean,
I don't. Yeah. Well, I guess we gotta ask the audience. Someone post in Slice and Dice Dreadcast Facebook group and let us know what draws the line on zombies, because I want to know now, because I'm curious. I guess right now, my favorite zombie movies would probably end up being Return of the Living Dead. I do have a soft spot for the Blind Dead trilogy, which is a bunch of shitty fucking Italian zombie movies that involves like the Knights Templar and shit. It's god awful, but I love them. I love old exploitation movies that are just terrible.
That's great.
All right, I gotta pull another question for you.
Bring it.
Let's see. Where's my? Oh, I know. I don't know why I didn't do this. I have my questions written down for when I'm going to do this on my show with people, and I need to fucking find that. And then I have a list of Friday the 13th questions I think should be asked to everyone.
All right.
I want to find that because
that's my second favorite.
Okay.
Series, by the way, aside from Halloween.
Was Friday the 13th Part 2 Was that rat piss or not? Did she piss herself or was that the rat pissing? Where do you stand on this important issue?
I think it was hers.
You think it was her? I'm a part of the rat piss category.
Okay.
Okay. Also from Friday the 13th, part 3. Did Jason rape Chris? Is Jason a rapist?
Oh, God. I got to think back to part 3 now.
Yeah. He chased her in the woods. He tried to rape her. And...
Shit, I can't remember that now.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. All right, what was my other questions? Okay, Friday the 13th, part 4. Did Jason kill the dog or did the dog commit suicide?
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
The dog jumped out the window, the second story window when he was upstairs with Jason. Did the dog get thrown out the window or did it commit suicide?
Well, if I'm thinking correctly, I would say he chose to jump out the window, so he committed suicide.
So Jason did not throw the dog out. Michael Myers is the only person who kills and eats dogs.
I would believe so.
All right. And bonus question, are you a dead fuck?
Oh my God. That's funny.
Sorry, this is all happened because I had Alex and the Skeleton Crew come on my show, and we were reviewing a movie, but it wasn't going well, and so we just like stopped reviewing the movie and just started asking him a bunch of questions, and so I just started pulling out the fucking like random shit I could remember from Friday the 13th movies, and to try to throw them off, and so it's like rat piss, Jason rape, and dog suicide. Those were my 3 questions.
Jeez. What about the best dance scene of all time would be Crispin Glover's?
It's either that one or Jason Takes Manhattan, the music video with the Asian chick who's rocking out with a guitar. That one's a close second.
Yep.
But yeah, nothing will beat Krister Glover. Krister Glover. Where the fuck? Crispin? I don't know. I can't talk. I've been working for fucking all day.
It's funny. Yeah, that's the best dance scene of all time.
Okay, so
and yeah, I think the girl he was dancing with could not stop laughing. They just left it in the fucking movie. She was just laughing right in his face.
Oh my God, yes, it was fantastic. Oh, that was so good. Okay, so here's some other good question for you. Because I don't know if y'all have talked about this on the show. I have not went through every single Slice and Dice Dreadcast show. So what is your favorite movie of all time? Is it the original Halloween?
That's definitely my favorite horror movie of all time. It's it's just it just holds so deep in my head. Like from growing up, it's like this. Me getting this on my arm was not a rash decision. Like it was something I wanted my whole life, basically. And thinking back as a kid, that's like the first movie that I ever remember watching, and it always became just more and more about me. And I never lost the love of the movie itself, and then it got me just into the whole genre in general. And then I would say, yeah, just because of its significance to me and my whole life, I have to say is. I mean,
okay. So, what's your favorite non-horror movie?
Oh shit, I have a lot of non-horror favorites that I can just always turn on and watch, and they're just like so out there. Fuck. Oh wow, that's weird. That's a hard one, man. I like a lot of.
Throw me a couple. You don't have to give me one. Give me a couple.
Non-horror. I can always go back and what's funny is just because we were just talking about it, because we're going to have the actor on in next week. That Thing You Do. You ever watch That Thing You Do?
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah, the Tom Hanks about the making of the song. Yes, that's a fantastic movie. Band.
Love that movie. Shit, I have so many. I just watch movies all my life. I just have so many favorite fucking movies, man.
Man, I will say this: music movies are super good. I love Hustle and Flow. I don't know if you've ever seen Hustle and Flow, because I don't know how if you're into rap music at all, but Hustle and Flow is fucking fantastic.
Crap music? No, I'm not gonna crap music. Oh, you said rap music? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Okay. What about books? Do you have a favorite horror novel?
I am not a reader. I could not.
Oh yeah, you don't read subtitles. Okay.
I used to read the Goosebump books when I was a kid.
Did you ever move on to Fear Street?
No.
Okay. Okay. What's a horror movie that actually scared you as a kid if you had one, and what was the story around it?
Scared me.
Yeah. Okay, while you're thinking, I'll tell you one. When I was a kid, I watched a lot of horror movies. At the age of 5, Jaws was my favorite movie of all time, which still holds true to this day. When I was maybe 6 or something like that, I saw the movie Silver Bullet. And I got so terrified of that movie that night I swore there was a werewolf outside my window all night. Every time I looked at my window, I could see his silhouette in the blinds. And I was just absolutely terrified that I was gonna wake up to a werewolf munching on my face.
That's funny. I remember I've never me being scared was really rare. But I remember one time the only time I really remember having a vivid nightmare was after watching a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, one of the sequels. And I remember I was spending the night at my buddy's house, and I just remember what part it was, maybe 4 or 5, some weird, one of the sequels. And I remember going to sleep and just having this vivid, fuck, dude, literally Freddy's in my dream right now gonna fucking kill me. I had to wake up and I didn't sleep the rest of the night. That's the only time I can ever remember being scared from a movie. Other than that, I'm investigating too. The first and last time I was ever scared was when I was 9 years old and I saw my first apparition in my room. I was scared. Nothing really scares me. I get freaked out sometimes when I get to, if I'm in a bad place or something freaks me out, but I don't get scared. Same thing with movies. I just don't. I can really remember ever being scared.
I have an overactive imagination and a high dose of paranoia in me. So I could be watching a documentary about aliens and start thinking a little too much and start getting goosebumps and chills. Because I'm oh fuck, I'm gonna get abducted. I'm gonna get anal probed. That's it. That's it for me, guys. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to me. But on your Nightmare on Elm Street, that would actually be terrifying if you actually dreamed about Freddy Krueger as a kid, because he kills you in the movie. He kills them in their dreams, and for that to actually happen to you, fuck that shit. If I dream of Jason killing me, it's okay, whatever. I'm not actually at Camp Crystal Lake smoking weed and banging bitches. He's not really going to kill me. But with Freddy, you're kind of fucked. If you have a nightmare, you're kind of fucked. Yeah,
I was probably maybe 8-ish. I was a young kid spending the night at my buddy's house, and we were watching the movie. I just remember it was just like that. We just fallen asleep. I was right in that little, the sweet spot between falling asleep into a deep sleep and being awake. And I just woke up. I remember waking up after just the nightmare and being oh, fuck this, man. I'm going to stay up, buddy.
So you just stayed up? You didn't try to call your parents or anything?
Oh no, I'm not pussy, but I just stayed up, didn't fall asleep.
Gotcha. Yeah, fair. Hey, fair enough.
I was like, oh, he can't get me if I'm not sleeping.
That depends on which movie.
I didn't bring him out of there.
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't steal that hat from him? Freddie looks like he'd be a Hurley guy.
No.
Okay. Have you? Before I ask this question, I gotta preface it and make sure. Have you watched any of the Universal classic monster movies?
What's up, motherfuckers?
Nothing. I'm interviewing Jim.
Give me an example.
Like, the Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Have you watched the Universal horror classics?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I haven't recently, but yeah, I think I've at one time seen most of them. Just because my mom used to watch them, and I was always around watching stuff like that. So yeah, at some point I have.
So do you off the top of your head, can you think of a favorite of those movies? Like, is there one that if it was like, hey, let's watch a Universal classic monster movie, you would have a
I always like Wolfman.
Wolfman? Oh, good choice.
I always liked the Wolfman.
Probably my second favorite of the Universal monster movies.
Yeah, I mean, Dracula always is cool, but I don't know why I always had a thing for
It's subtitled, so you probably will never watch it, but the Spanish Dracula is actually better than our Dracula. Like, it's like production wise, it has moving cameras. It has the director actually gave a shit, unlike the director of Dracula, who his best friend just died and he really didn't want to be there and didn't give a shit. And if it wasn't for Bela Lugosi, no one would talk about the original Dracula.
Good book.
All right.
Welcome back. I kind of I've just been interviewing Jim. We've been delving into the mind of Jim to find out.
I cannot wait to listen to the last 20 minutes.
Not very exciting. It's everything you probably already know.
Yeah, probably. I pulled out my questions that I have to ask. Like my set of questions I'm asking people I'm interviewing, and so I just did a test run on Jim. And then I ran out of them, so I just started making up questions.
It's hard to remember everything off the top of your head. Like if you give me a heads up, I'll be able to do some research and have a good answer for it. But on the top of your head, I'm like, oh, what the fuck is he talking about? I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, I won't ask you about Jason raping people anymore. That's my bad. That one maybe was a little far out.
Whoa.
Now, if I watch that movie right now, I'd be like, oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Though I still think it was the rat who pissed in Friday the 13th Part 3.
Maybe it's only because I'm into. Never mind.
Did anyone else just hear R. Kelly music start playing?
What the hell was that?
If we had that good production value.
I'm not paying for that shit. R. Kelly song on this show.
Fuck that shit. Paying that shit. We'll fucking guerrilla style.
Actually, which one of y'all edit the show? I know the show doesn't really take a lot of editing, but which one of y'all edit it?
We both do, kind of.
Ah, you just kind of.
I've been doing the audio for the last couple episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your opinion?
Huh? No, I like knowing background shit. I like to know who's editing it, who's choosing the films. How do you research? What beef have y'all had? Like or anything like? I like knowing that background shit. You do not know the amount of questions I have asked Alex about the skeleton.
Crew. It's funny you say that because it's different as me and Joey are as far as like our outlook on horror or what we want to talk about or what movies we like to watch. Any kind of like quote unquote dispute that we've had is pretty damn easily. I think it's kind of like me saying, "Hey, I don't want to do that shit." And he's like, "Okay, we'll do whatever you want." Like, all right.
Well, y'all do have a very different review style because Joey, like, it almost seems like Jim, you very much just want to watch a film, have a good time, and talk about it. It doesn't really seem like you want to get into what the color yellow represented on the killer's clothing. You just want to talk about how, you know, he killed someone. You're very much into having the fun spirit of it, as to where Joey wants to get into how the killer was raised by his mother, and he abandoned him and killed the dog in front of him and then fucked his dad in front of him. But it turns out it wasn't his dad. It was Santa. And now he grew up all fucked up. And Joey wants to get into every spectrum of that. And so that's why I kind of like y'all's What?
Which is great for Death by Podcast.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, Death by Podcast seems to be the deeper show, and this seems to be the funner show. Like, this is very much, let's have a good time, and let's talk shit about critters, you know? Like, and that's really cool because you two balance each other out very well. Because there are so many times where Joey will start going kind of deep, and Jim will cast that fishing line and just reel his ass back in. And be like, nope, let's move on. I actually got to say, I got to apologize. When I was on y'all's show, when Kenneth listened to it, he when I was talking to him like the next day, he goes, hey, you know, when you go on other people's show, you're not the host. You need to shut the fuck up. And I was like, what do you mean? So I went and listened to the episode, which I listen to every guest spot I'm on anyway. Just I listen to every Married with Children podcast episode that comes out because I didn't edit it. Yeah. So I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, the whole time I'm listening, I'm like, I think Jim wants to tell me to shut the fuck up a lot. Like, because I'm encouraging Joey to just go fucking full out and deep. And I'm like, you know, I don't know if Jim's ever listened to my show, but if he has, I'm pretty sure he's never heard when me and Kenneth get really deep on something. Because, like, Jim, you would love the Puppet Master show we just did because it's a lot of fun, but you would fucking hate our Last House on the Left show.
I loved it.
Which is fine because
it's not, we'll put it this way, okay? It's not the fact that I don't think like Joey does, but if we were in like the same room and just having drinks and chit chatting, detail a lot of shit too. Doing a show, I believe, should be entertaining.
Agreed.
Fun. And personally, and the shows that I've been doing over the past 6+ years, you know, starting with the paranormal, going into podcast, you know, into comedy podcasting and horror podcast and all this shit, most views or listens are the fun, laid back, off the cuff, just bullshit shows, but it's when people are more, you know, free, and that's my vision of what this show was, what we talked about, I guess. But that's why I am how I am. I don't really go into, like, my notes that I do on movies are not notes. They're just summaries of the movie just to remind me what the hell I watched because I'm going to forget. So they're really just summaries of the scene by scene by scene. Like, opens with this, and this happened, and this happened. Then I can just remember in my head, that's right. Other than that, I don't really delve into anything except for like writing titties or something. But yeah, I just really enjoy fun, and when I'm laughing, I think other people are going to laugh, and that's more entertaining to me than listening to somebody, you know, give an essay about what they thought this meant.
Yeah,
good about what you think it meant. Just laugh and have a good fucking time.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. Like, I try to balance it out on Kill the Cast. Sometimes we go a little too deep. Sometimes we don't go deep at all. It's just us having fun. It depends on what we're doing. We bounce back and forth. Like, for instance, like I said, the Last House on the Left show, a Psycho 3 show, those are extremely deep. As to where Puppet Master, we went on a tangent about hookers and suicide. Like, we go on tangents a lot on Kill the Cast anyway. But nonetheless, so like, yeah, so I feel like the next time, obviously not this time, but the next time I'm on, I have a better idea of how both of y'all want the show to go. So I think I can roll in a better mixture of it. And I think I'll do a little better, because after listening to that show, I was like, yeah, I talked a little way too fucking much. I need to reel that back some.
And I'm not saying anything against Joey or what he thinks people like, or that I'm right or he's wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying how I feel, and I believe that maybe, you know, the purist or the intellectual might love into aspect, but I think there's more people that just want to have a good time out there while they're, you know, driving around, listening to shows and laughing, have a good time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
that's why you got to have a combo of both, baby. You got to have the slice and the dice, you know?
I look true. I look at my different shows, and I look at my different stats and my different views and listens and all that, and they've all my shows have gone better whenever we're just busting balls and having a good time. So
I'm with you. And you two do balance each other out very well. You kind of have something for the people who just want to laugh and have fun, and for someone who wants to put a little bit more thought into it. So the Slice and Dice is a great combination of that.
And then, you know, like the whole start of this was, all right, we'll take movies that are on Netflix and shit and just randomly choose from the horror section, you know, because most people have Netflix and could just pop it, watch it, and then listen to the podcast, you know?
Until we start getting non-horror or just shit that nobody wants to fucking listen about. Yeah. And I was, I don't know.
We shifted into the Shudder, and then we started getting movies like Open Your Eyes, the Spanish film that Vanilla Sky was based off of. Great film. And I probably wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for the podcast. So that's one good thing about doing stuff like that. But at the same time, Jim's doing a podcast and he doesn't want to watch movies like that. So we got to find a balance, you know?
Very true.
Hence the last episode, we went on the Shudder, popped on a random page, found, Fright Night, Night of the Creeps. Cool. Sounds good. Let's do it, you know?
Yeah, that was a super fun episode. But I like knowing background stuff like that because, like, for instance, on Kill the Cast, I make a lot of the decisions. A good 90% of the movies we do are my choices. I do all the editing. I do all the promotion. I do the other two guys, if they just fucking show up with their notes and shit to say, that's all I ask. Like, it's the easiest show to be on because you don't have to do anything. You just show up and you're good. And so
see, that's how I was with my last podcast, and I just completely stopped having fun doing it. Just like in the back seat.
I still have fun doing it, but that's because I like having creative control. Like, I like
no. I was up and doing and just being on my, like, I had like no decisions.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, no, I can't. It's not fun to me anymore.
Yeah.
So when Joey asked me, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do let them pick movies. Like, we have He Never Died. Jay picked. We just did Puppet Master. Jay picked that one also. The next horror coliseum we're doing was Kenneth's idea. So, like, it's not like I'm a dictator and I'm like, you get no fucking say in this house. No,
Jerry the Dick.
Yeah, Jerry the Dick. So, like, you have complete. Like, I give it. Like, if you've got an idea or something, say the shit to me. I'll put it in my notes. But also, neither one of them want to edit the show. I'm better at social media promotion than Kenneth. Jay is actually pretty good at it. I need to make him help me out, do it a little bit more. But yeah, so I like knowing background shit like that. So I find it interesting to learn, you know, because now I know why Jim's on the show, what his goal with the show is, what he wants the show to be, and what his motivation for the show is going to be. And I didn't know that beforehand. And now your listeners know. And I think it's interesting as a listener and as a fan of y'all to know your motivations.
Of course. I mean, podcasting, it's a very intimate thing, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could just be like a show like Sword and Scale where it's like, here's your case. This is what happened. Here's some interviews, done. But, you know, horror podcasts are a little different, you know, where it's part of our lives. It's the way we outlook on life. It's not just like, oh, I just like to watch a horror movie once in a while. Like, this is what we do all day, every day. This is what we think about. These are the crazy shits that we have going through our head when we're walking down the street and, see this person. And maybe you might picture them in a horror movie, right? Maybe you might not. I don't know. But ultimately, this shit is floating around your head all day long, nonstop, whether you're on a conscious or a subconscious level. And I think it's because it's, I might have said this before, I don't know, but every human being worships something, whether it's religion, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's drugs, whether it's food. We worship something to various degrees. And obviously the three of us worship horror enough to be on the air
I
1 in the morning doing our thing.
I worship King Ghidorah. He's he's my god. So, that's where I go with that.
Yeah. I'm not saying like this is it's a bad thing either, but it's what we love. It's what we do. And we're just here sharing our views, talking about life in context of the film. At least I do. But, your listeners get to know who you are. You have social media. It's not like we're fucking, Steve Harvey. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I love the Facebook groups, man. That is so much fun. And like, did you see? I don't know if you saw this, but I posted a diss rap to Jeremy of 22 Shots.
I did not see the rap. No.
Yeah, I posted a diss rap to him because he keeps running his mouth. But okay, I got one more question for you, Jim. Jim, I recently got this month's horror pack, and in it was a movie called Killer Piñata. In this movie, someone rapes a piñata. Jim, okay? I don't know if you heard that right, but someone raped this poor piñata. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about raping piñatas?
It's an epidemic. I hate it. It's it's something we need to get under control.
It's spreading through the country like wildfire.
Kids want these kids just want their candy. They don't need to be, all dirty and sullied with rape stuff on it.
Rape stuff
on it. Oh my god.
Demented.
But that's funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I did my horror pack, and I did a Facebook Live video while I was recording my YouTube video. Okay. So I wasn't going to address Facebook Live while I was recording the video. I told them that. But I look over at the screen, and Derek B of 22 Shots informs me that there's piñata rape in it while I'm recording my video. So at that point, I say, fuck it. We got to talk about piñata rape. And I just wanted to know how Jim felt about that, because me personally, it was very disturbing to hear about that. There was a good movie in my horror pack, though. I don't have it on me because it's in the living room because I just watched it. The Scare House comes out on Blu-ray next month. Fucking super good. You can actually watch the movie for free on the director's website. Fucking dude, that movie was fucking awesome. I think both y'all would really like that movie. Hot chicks. It's a revenge movie. Fantastic.
He's smiling. He wants to review it.
We're gonna have the director on Kill the Cast.
Awesome.
The episode after I interview JP of 22 Shots.
Nothing like fucking water.
I'm drinking sweet tea. Fuck water.
I'm
Would you H2O water, like you needed to survive or some shit? Fucking.
I was doing too.
Water and seltzer.
Water and smack.
No, that's absolutely disgusting.
Trinity said, "I think Jim wants to kill Jerry." No, I do not.
I love the facial expressions I'm getting here.
I feel like I'm figuring Jim out more. Like I'm starting to figure out his facial expressions, and
go back and watch the video from when Watson was on, and look at Jim's facial expressions. I think this scene's where it looks like he's hunched back like this.
Okay, hold on. I got a question then. So for your guest, you've had guests like Watson on, me on, and Watson's his show is very intellectual. Jim, did you know that before he was on the show?
That was all Joey's doing. He said, I got a guy that is pretty popular on the network. I said, sweet, maybe he'll get us some downloads, blah blah blah. What it is, man.
Wait. Honestly, tell me, what did Joey tell you about me when he told you I was coming on? I won't get mad at Joey or you. I promise. I swear.
That's a good question. What did I tell you, Jim?
Yeah. Like,
I don't really remember. I think it was just, what shows you host, and I don't know. I don't even know. I think he said this guy will be a better fit for our show than previous episodes.
Oh, how wrong you were.
Holy
no, if
shit.
You would have told me ahead of time to, because at the time I had listened to a few episodes, but I hadn't gotten down y'all's feel for it. So if you're if I would have been told other than, yeah, Jerry, it's fine, come talk about raping a dog or something, and you'll fit right in. And it would have been a different time.
Yeah.
But I was going off. I knew more about Joey. So because of that, if I'm going to guest spot on something, I research. I listen to a few shows if I've never listened to it, or I listen to, I make sure I'm caught up, something like that, and try to get a feel for what I'm walking into. And apparently I was wrong. But I had a great time, and I think this, since Jim agreed to let me come back on, even if, I don't know, did you get a choice tonight, Jim, for me to come back on?
Jim was like, who's Mark Conway?
Jim's going to stop letting you pick the host.
Honestly, used it all with your last episode. I had fun doing that show. So if you thought that you did anything wrong, you didn't. I had more fun with your show than probably because we've had yet. So
I didn't think about it until Kenneth told me that he felt like I took over the show, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, the opening segment usually is devoted to our hosts to, do their thing, plug anything they want to plug, bring up anything they want to bring up, and then talk about ghosts for a little bit. So I mean, yeah, dude, I'd give you a hug.
But to be fair, before I came on y'all's show, I last minute, 2 days beforehand, got asked to do NFW podcast. So I was recording with them for 2.5 hours and then immediately jumped on with y'all. So I was in my computer chair for 5 hours straight.
That is a lot of butt hurt.
Much like your audience when I was talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, bump. Question for you guys.
People taking over the episodes. I mean, Christian was saying the same thing last time. He was like, I can go. I'm long-winded. I'll keep talking. Blah blah blah. And we're like, you're fine. I had no issues with that episode. I didn't think anything about your episode until you started bringing shit up. I mean, I was perfectly fine and comfortable with it. I thought it worked fine.
If we didn't want you to talk, we wouldn't have you on the show, people.
Well, but now I'm finding out that Jim's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Whoever's on, that's cool. And then we get on, and he's like, oh, God damn it, another intellectual. Can you bring me someone who laughs at farts? Jesus. The fuck are you doing to me, Joey?
Jim was ready to start hanging up on people, I think.
As soon as this is over, Jim's going to be like, Joey, don't invite that motherfucker back on again. He asked me about rat piss and Jason rape. Okay, you left us alone, and I had to answer all these weird fucking questions.
I left you alone with Jerry. I'm sorry.
I have zero complaints about Jerry. I'll just put it out there.
He pinned you into a corner.
Well, thank you, Jim. I'm super stoked to know that you don't like me, because for a moment I was like, maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know, because I like, huh. And then when Joey was like, hey, will you come on tonight? I'm like, yes, they don't hate me. I can go fuck up their show some more.
Yeah.
No, there are certain people that I just don't mesh well with, certain personalities, certain and Joey knows. Talking who I told him, I don't really happy if they came back on. You're not one of them, so
Superstar.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Really?
Really?
Oh, hey, this is live. Be careful what you say.
Be careful what you say. It might come back and bite you in the balls.
There's nobody giving me a paycheck. I don't give a shit what they think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like I don't think Jason Lloyd has ever kicked anyone off Horrorphilia for saying some fucked up shit. I've seen what Jason says. It'll be okay.
It'll be all right. Yeah, it's time for some Slice and Dice beef. Who are we gonna beef with?
Beef with Jeremy at 22 shots.
Oh, I think Jim and Jeremy would like meet up and like fight.
Oh, dude, no, that wouldn't be fair. That would be like Jim beating up a fucking crippled dog child. Like, literally, Jeremy looks like one punch, and he's calling his dad to sue you.
Oh, dropping lawyers. Speaking of Rocky V, touch me and I'll sue you.
I'm saying, look at Jim. Jim looks like he can knock you the fuck out. Like, Jim is not someone that I would want to fight with. I mean, I don't want to fight with anyone, but Jim looks like he would beat my ass, take pictures of it, send it to my mom, and say, next time, do better.
Next time, do better.
Like, that's what Jim looks like.
There'll be somebody real next time.
What?
Real next time. What's this?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Jim looks like when I think of like a New York goon, like someone who would just like beat your ass in the street because you looked at them wrong or offered them the wrong type of cigarette, that they would just beat your ass. That's what Jim looks like to me. I would not fight Jim. If Jim came out and was like, we fighting, I'm like, how much money do you want to not beat my ass? Because you want a blowjob? What? I mean, what are we talking about here?
He's a New York goon. He's a Steel Town goon.
He's a Steel Town goon. What is it? What the fuck is Steel Town? I'm assuming that's where he's from. But Pittsburgh.
Okay. Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jim wouldn't,
and also,
I wouldn't have to give him money. He would beat my ass and steal my money. Okay.
He's a maniac. We covered that on a show.
See, Joey's the complete opposite. Joey looks like he would like offer me a back massage. Like if I looked like a little stressed, Joey would be like, "Hey man, are you doing okay? Here, man, let me get those shoulders for you. You know, life's tough. Do you want some tea? It's green tea from India. It's fantastic. It'll really smooth you out."
I'll give you some green tea, all right.
That sounded rapey. I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Very rapey.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Have y'all ever done a show like this? Like all of your shows have been formatted and then this happens.
Yeah, no, we've always had some kind of format. Usually on the wrestling podcast we were doing for a little bit, it was like this.
You've been plugging the Don for fucking months, and he comes on for finally, and he just.
Oh, let's take a little ball break in here for the Don. Are you kidding me right now, Jim? Did you hear what it sounded like? It sounded like.
What did y'all tell me earlier? It sounded like Smurfs dying.
Yeah, it sounded like a grizzly.
All I heard was
trying to eat some Smurfs.
Shitty like speakers in somebody's ghetto ass car, just like. That's all I heard.
It's
it was
because
like
Don
mega
spent,
feedback with like a giant's voice being punched out like this.
yeah, it's because Don spends all his money importing weird Philippine movies called rock and roll. There's 15 of those fucking movies. 15 rock and roll movies, and they're horror movies, and they're from the Philippines. And
Wow,
Don
it must
apparently
take
knows
like a
about
month to get to his treehouse in the woods.
You know,
I can't wait for the Don to get on.
here's my question. Does he not have a smartphone?
Nope.
Wait, he seriously, how does he listen to podcasts?
I don't know.
What does he have, a Zune?
He's the most
Don, are you
mysterious
using a
man
Zune?
in the group.
I know, Don, that's actually surprising because Don's like smart as shit. Holy
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
Don will tell you about stuff you never even heard of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, I've seen that movie. It was made in Chile in 1982 by a director who lost his big toe back in 1945. And that greatly influenced. Like, that's Don. Don will tell you shit you've never heard
Oh
of.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was looking forward to him schooling me and Jim tonight, really.
I was looking forward to hearing his voice.
Oh.
Instead,
Don's voice was heard once on Death by Podcast in an audio clip.
Instead, all your audience have to deal with me asking Jim about dog suicide.
What? There was a movie with dog suicide before. Oh no, I think I was thinking about Alien Resurrection.
I asked Jim my 3 Friday the 13th questions, and he was all excited at first because he was like, "Oh yeah, I love Friday the 13th. It's my second favorite series." But he's expecting me to ask him like legit questions, and then I don't, and I.
So that's what I missed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we did dig into some of Jim's favorite things. We now know what his favorite zombie movie is. We know a little bit more about how he feels about subtitles.
Oh, we already knew about that one. That's for sure.
That shit was funny. Wait, didn't you write down a bunch of questions? Don't you have questions?
Oh, I got some stuff. So
what do you got?
Here, real quickly, like what is your? See, I have like best/favorite because what you think the best and what your favorite different, but modern franchises. What do you think is your favorite/best?
Oh, fuck me. Hold on.
Around?
Well, I'm trying to think because I'm not I don't watch as many modern films as I should. I'm really bad about that. I watch a lot of old shit.
Like I feel like the franchises, modern franchises, they're like few and far between, like compared to the 80s and 90s.
Yes. Man, fuck. What would be my favorite modern? Like, I can name a couple of modern movies that I like, but modern franchise is a little
like
bit
Saw or Insidious. Conjuring.
Oh, it's definitely Insidious. I've never seen any of them, but that's definitely my favorite. I'm just taking Jim's word for it, so that's definitely my favorite. And if it's terrible, then I'm just gonna get pissed at Jim. Fuck, man. I don't know if I have an answer for this because I'm blanking on
Hatchet.
I did
to rest.
I like Hatchet 1 and 2. 3 was okay. Yeah, on that. My favorite Adam Green movie is Digging Up the Marrow. That movie is fucking awesome, and a lot of people don't care for it, but I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Digging Up the Marrow, I believe it's still on Shudder. Jim, I think you might enjoy it a little, but I think Joey might enjoy it more. I would actually, Jim, you might like it because it's one of those movies that are like. It's a documentary, but it's a fake documentary, and Adam Green plays himself as Adam Green, so it's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite franchise. You're gonna have to. I fucked up your first question. That's a good start.
I mean, I think the Wreck franchise is pretty interesting. Have you seen any of those films?
No, and you know what? Kenneth was just giving me shit because I haven't seen those movies.
Ooh. The first two are phenomenal. The third one and fourth one, they're not bad. But the fuck is that? A mosquito? Get out of here, Skeeter. What do you guys feel about Saw? Because I think we're gonna actually cover the franchise in Death by Podcast when Jigsaw drops later in the year.
I think I've seen the first two, and they're okay. I haven't seen the rest of them. I just bought the complete Saw Blu-ray set because it was like $12.
Mm.
And it came with a digital codes, and I'm a whore for digital codes. So I'm gonna probably run through them all. In fact, I just saw Carrie Elwes live, who played the blonde doctor in the movie, because we went to a screening of The Princess Bride, and he did a Q&A afterwards.
Mm.
Now everyone is making fun of me right now. I can hear it.
No. What about?
No, I like the first one, but I think they all came out to be the same. You know, there's really nothing different about any of them. I mean,
I do have a favorite. My favorite Saw movie is 7, with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. That was a really good one.
Jesus.
You know, now that I'm thinking about this, The Purge. We just recently watched The Purge, and I was really impressed with The Purge. Honestly, I was really not expecting it to be as good as it was. I guess other ones, Final Destination stands out, especially that fucking highway scene from part 2. I mean, I think that's the most iconic of the series.
Yeah, I think Skeleton Crew is going to do, before they quit in October, they're going to do the Final Destination movie, so I'm excited about that.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen those in a long time.
I just posted a picture the other day of me driving on a highway behind a truck full of cut up trees. I was like, what movie am I thinking of right now?
Yeah, that was nuts. Oh shit. And then I mean, I guess from Scream and after, I would consider modern franchises. Right.
So like 2000 and up, or are you talking like 1996 and up?
Yeah, yes. If the franchise carried into the 2000s, then from 96. I'm just like trying to get like more rather than the year, but more like the kind of film, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when like I guess the landscape shifted, you know?
Gotcha. Okay.
Rather than like saying, because I mean Leprechaun started in what, like 92 or something like that, maybe even 91, but they had movies early. 2008 or some shit, you know. So I guess it's a modern franchise, you know.
No, I think
it's not a modern franchise.
I don't think it's not a franchise. Fuck franchises.
Fuck franchises, because usually the sequels suck. So
I don't own a.
Why do we go crazy for fucking sequels?
Because they're familiar, and we want to be held, and we like nostalgia. We all fucking snort nostalgia every night.
Oh yeah, we love nostalgia and closure. Feels good.
What about the Conjuring movies?
They're good.
They're good.
I'm interested. They're taking part 3 into a very new territory, I guess, from what I'm reading. They're not awful, but definitely more of a when you know the real story and the real people, and you know how kind of like in Amityville and all those movies, you know, when you meet the real people, you know, and hear them speak, and then you watch the movie, you're like, oh shit, you know, obviously this didn't really happen. Like the walls did not leak in real life and all this kind of stuff. But so one of the ones where if you ask me about the paranormal, like, oh shit, you know, I know that didn't happen. I've heard the real people, like I've heard Lorraine Warren speak about what actually happened, but first one was not bad. Second one was all right. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with the third one.
That's interesting. I remember I read the book, the first book about Amityville Horror, the one by Jay Anson. And after reading that, I was like, oh, well, this is different. Like, this is not, no. And I actually like the book more than the movie, surprisingly. But I think the whole Amityville Horror, I am actually in the camp of they faked that shit and they were trying to get money out of it, something like that. I don't really feel like they were haunted.
I saw The Conjuring once and I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was anything like people going crazy about, but I guess if you take horror as a whole and like what you like out of it, it's hard to execute a solid ghost story, I think. Even if you're not familiar with that, very specifics like dust rising and all that crazy shit, it's redundant, you know what I mean? It's really redundant if you think about it. So like I watched a movie recently, it's called like Dead Awake or some shit, just came out 2017. And I spoke about this on, I think, the podcast last time. The girl looked exactly like The Rings, like legit. And how many of those have we seen in the past 15 years?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was like, over the top. Let's run them with a franchise. Like, I didn't see Annabelle. What they got, like The Nun coming out, another, I think like 4
The Cum's coming
Annabelle
out? What?
They're gonna have like the Crooked Man, The Nun, and another one. So
characters getting their own movie now. Like, it's just, come on now. We don't need that. Like,
yeah. And that's the thing. It's mainstream horror. You know what I mean? So it's like it's accessible to people that don't want to like, step out of the comfort zone when it comes to scary movies. Like somebody like that, like is a casual horror goer. You put Cannibal Holocaust on, they're going to be like mortified and hate you for the rest of their lives. Where if the three of us watch it, we'd probably like really insightfully talk about it and appreciate the fucking psychotic beauty of it.
Oh my God. My mom one day, she was like, hey, do you want to watch a horror movie? And I'm like, yeah, sure. She goes, go get like the most fucked up one you got. And I was like, well, we're not watching Serbian film together. That's just fucking weird. And so I grabbed Cannibal Holocaust and I made her watch Cannibal Holocaust. And then later, and she thought it was fine. She didn't have any issues with it. But I later found out she is actually like deathly afraid of Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Really?
Yeah. Like fucking, she grew up deeply religious and she is not having that.
That's pretty. He's one of my faves, and it sucks because I like the first 4 films, and then after that, it's like totally fucking shits the bed, man.
I love the first movie. Did not like the second one. Did not like the third one. I actually started reading the Scarlet Gospels after reading the first short story of Hellbound Heart and loving it. Yeah. I started reading the Scarlet Gospels and just going from knowing very little about Pinhead works so greatly to when you get into Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3, and then like the Scarlet Gospels. The more I learn about them, the more I wish I didn't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm. It's almost, he's like, in the first one, he's like the Shape, and then it just unravels from there,
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the VHS series?
I've only seen the first one.
Likewise.
I didn't think it was good, but I have really bad anxiety. And while watching movies, I have to be careful because I get really into them. And me and Kenneth, we like to put ourselves in the position of those people. And I get really into it. I get really sucked into movies. I actually had to stop VHS because I almost had an anxiety attack during the segment that's got the chick sneaking into the hotel room. fucking with the boyfriend stuff, and then like they killed him. Like I had anxiety. Like also Sinister, the movie Sinister. I fucking loved that movie, but that movie almost gave me a fucking anxiety attack.
I watched it this year for the second time. I watched it when it came out, and I thought it was all right. I wasn't crazy about it, but I also, I always was interested in true crime, but never like really. I would watch a random documentary here and there, but like the past year, I've just been submerged in true crime as well. So rewatching it, I realized, oh shit, this is about a true crime writer, and it really stood out a little more this time around. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I got to watch part 2. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't watched part 2, but I've also not heard good things.
Well, yeah, it's usually the story.
And Jim, you said you liked Sinister?
I did. I never saw the first one, or I never saw the second one, but I saw the first one, and I thought the character looked good. I mean, the mask and the way he looked, kind of. If I saw that motherfucker, kind of freaked me out.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like one of these ones where I'm going to be like, oh, it's awful, awful. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but I think I've seen it twice and pretty good. Also,
Jerry,
like the VHS.
The VHS, I saw the first one. I thought, especially that opening, I think it was the opening segment, not the wraparound, but the one that Siren was based off of.
Man, fuck the wraparound. What kind of bullshit is that? First of all, who the fuck is recording a Skype call and then putting that shit on VHS? Are you selling it on the black market and VHSs aren't fucking traceable? Get the fuck out of here. That makes no goddamn sense. And then you don't even fucking, at the end of your wraparound, you don't tell me anything about the wraparound. I know nothing. Your entire wraparound ended up meaning fucking nothing because you didn't conclude it. Usually, I don't know how to write an end to this. Oh, fuck it. It's a cheap horror movie that'll be in Redbox. Who gives a shit? Well, you're right. This is born on Bloody Disgusting, and it's not like we do anything but put out clickbait shit, so fuck it.
So fuck it is right. Their podcasts, you have to click to listen to them.
Did you see that they're doing a podcast network now? Bloody Disgusting is? And that was what I said, is I said, oh, great. All their podcasts are going to have clickbait titles. Did Freddy Krueger actually fuck this dog? Listen to find out. It was like, what? Oh, it was in an unused script that we have that might have been the next Friday the 13th movie, but we don't know. What?
Yeah.
So we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. Why did you say Friday the 13th? Shut the fuck up, Jerry. Okay, shit. My bad.
Who did Jim beat up in this episode? Click on Slice and Dice to find out.
Yeah. Jim left another Horrorphilia host in a bloody stew in the trunk of his car. You'll only find out if you listen to the very end.
Oh, shit.
Just click play once and we'll get their stat. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with those. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, but Horrorphilia is definitely the shit where you want to get your podcasts. A lot of great shows on the network, people. So definitely check out the website. Check out all the great podcasts.
Except Kill the Cast. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Oh, shit.
So sweet, man. I mean, any other things you guys want to chat about before we call it a night?
You read off one question. What are some of your other questions?
Okay, yeah.
I want to answer something good.
Okay, so what is your favorite transformation? So like in Fright Night, he transforms from Jerry into Jerry the Vamp. American Werewolf in London, transformation into a vampire.
It's a good question. I know what transformation I want to see, and that's a Nightmare on Elm Street transforming into a good series. I'm just kidding. I really do like werewolf transformations. Obviously, everyone loves American Werewolf in London, but I think The Howling actually had a really good transformation scene. I love the original Wolfman transformation scene. Fucking what was that other one I just saw? I know. You know what the best transfer scene is? Not transformation, but transfer scene. It's in Jaws 3 when the shark hits the glass and it shoots out in 3D. That was the fucking best.
Oh,
no,
God, it looks so good.
Okay, I actually have a question for both of y'all. Okay. Jaws 3, Jaws 4, Jaws of Revenge. Jim, which is the worst?
I've seen them all this year, so I can't wait to answer this.
Jim's like, I don't watch this shit.
I'm going to say the one with the fucking Jamaican. What was that one?
Okay, so you're saying Jaws the Revenge
Jaws
is
the
the worst.
Revenge.
Okay. All right. Well, Joey, where are you at?
So we're talking 2, 3, and Revenge, right?
No, 2 is good. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, do we?
It's a watered down version of number 1. It's fine. I don't know why I'm still holding these up.
I don't know, man. I didn't like 2. It's not that I didn't like 2. I like 2. It's good.
Joey, answer the damn question.
100%. I'm gonna go with Jaws the Revenge.
Y'all are both fucking dead to me. Jaws of Revenge is way better than Jaws 3D. Jaws of Revenge is actually entertaining.
That's what I just said.
You just said no. I asked you which one's the worst, and you said Jaws of Revenge.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you think Jaws 3D? Okay, you're not dead to me. Jim, you're not dead to me either, but it's only because I'm worried you're gonna beat my ass.
Is this with Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, that shit is fucking horrible.
I think Jaws of Revenge is fun. I think it's a fun movie. It's enjoyable to watch.
I haven't seen him recently.
I was loving like all the fucking cliched tropes in the film.
Yeah, it's stupid as shit, but it's fun. Stupid. Jaws of 3D is stupid as shit and boring and not fun.
It's like the shark becomes like a mega slasher hunting you down.
Yes.
Fucking so
Jaws
far-fetched.
of Revenge is the slasher version of the Jaws movies.
Yes. Jaws 3, I used to love it when I was a kid.
Well, you were not a very intelligent kid.
Yes, I was very dumb. But rewatching it this time around, horrible script. I mean, corny. It doesn't do. It does not. It makes the 80s look bad. Let's put it that way. It's one of those things that makes the 80s look bad. Jaws 3, especially that scene through the fucking glass. It's like, I don't know, a weird cartoon, fucking animated looking shark, and then all of a sudden the worst practical shark head sticking out of a fucking glass window.
Apparently, Trin is absolutely convinced that Jim is going to kill me. So he just made a post in Now Listening because he listened to our first hour, but he can't listen to the second. And he was like, "Someone listen to it and let me know if Jim kills Jerry."
Oh shit!
I cannot afford another fucking podcast beef. I cannot afford another.
We gotta get Trent on the show.
What?
Shit, man.
Oh, dude, you gotta get Trent on the show. That'd be dope.
Yes, that would be dope. Oh man. Yeah, Jaws the Revenge, and that opening scene when he eats the arm off. Somebody posted something like, "What's the best opening scene?" I wrote Jaws the Revenge jokingly, but I was half jokingly. Like I remember as a kid being like, "Holy shit, what?"
Dude, have either one of y'all seen Alligator from 1980?
Yeah, man. Weren't we talking online about this recently?
Yeah. So, not the best opening scene, but one of the best death scenes ever is that pool scene in that movie where the kid gets pushed off the diving board and the alligator's right there in the pool and fucking
the kid in the pool. Oh
yeah, man, fucking fantastic.
That
is fucking great, Jim. If you've never seen Alligator, that is a really fun creature feature. That's actually really good.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't know if it was on TV at some point, but I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah, I have a poster of it right. You can't see it because it's right here, but I have a poster of it right here by me. I love that movie.
To go back to transformations, I've been pondering this, and definitely The Fly.
The Fly is really good.
And what's it called?
Oh, dude, the best transformation scenes ever are the John Carpenter's The Thing.
The Thing. The Thing was just too obvious. Too obvious.
I know, but the dog. My favorite is the first one. The dog in the dog pen.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That is because The Thing's in like my top 5 favorite movies of all fucking time. I love that movie.
Likewise. Before we were Death by Podcast, we were Dose of Terror. It was me, Mike, and another guy, and we did a top 5, and it was on all 3 of ours. I think it was the only one that was on all 3 of ours.
Hey, who named Slice and Dice Dreadcast? Was it a group?
I named Slice and Dice, and Jim named Dreadcast because we were trying to come up with a name, and Jim was like, I want to go with Dreadcast. And I think we had some other wacky name, something Dreadcast. And then I was like, oh, Slice and Dice.
We were going back and forth. We were going back and forth. I can't remember, but yeah, it was that he had before. And I was looking online, and there's a Slice and Dice something, I think. Or I can't remember what it was, but I was like, okay, well, how about this? This works. So we were trying to think of words for horror, and Dread came out, and I was like, oh, how about Dreadcast? We got the word cast in it, and it's horror, blah, blah, blah. It just fit.
Yeah. I'm still shocked. Wait, I also wanted to ask you all this. Was I the first person to make the Slice and Dice Breadcast joke?
Yes.
How did no one think about that joke? Or were they just like, this is stupid. I'm not embarrassing myself by saying this. And the first thing I do when I get on here is start talking about Slice and Dice Breadcast and pizza. I was so proud of that joke. I was just like, I am so doing this joke as soon as I get on there.
Yo, I got to tell you guys, I always think about pizza when we're doing the podcast. Pizza and beef patties, baby.
I haven't even eaten dinner yet. Like, as soon as I'm done with this, I've got to go eat dinner at fucking 12:30 at night. What time is it? 12:35 at night. Yeah. I'm going to have chips and cheese.
Oh, it's 1:35 and I need to re-eat dinner. Dinner too. Midnight snack. I'm fucking hungry.
All right, you want to throw one more question at me then?
Let's see.
Make it a good one.
Let's see. Two questions. The first one, your favorite Stephen King adaptation?
It's actually going to be Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet followed by Salem's Lot, but Silver Bullet is my favorite Stephen King adaptation. Ooh. I love it. Cycle of the Werewolf. I actually stole it from my school library. It still has a library sticker on it and everything because I fucking loved it and I just could not get rid of it. So yeah, easily. Not Cycle of the Werewolf. That's the book. Fuck. Silver Bullet is by far my favorite.
Jim?
I don't, like you said, I don't really read the books, but I mean, like.
So your favorite Stephen King movie that was based off of a book?
Oh, isn't Pet Cemetery one his?
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cemetery.
Yeah, I've got that.
Fuck.
I actually have sitting up here a really old, the first book club edition of Salem's Lot up there right next to my first edition Jaws.
Nice. And Pet Cemetery is going to tie into the second question, but I was going to just state not straight horror, but Misery.
Misery is fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I can't wait to Misery the shit out of Jim.
And so the next question was the creepiest kid in horror. And you got that little kid from Pet Cemetery and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I don't know his name.
Creepiest kid.
But yeah, he's not my choice. But that's the question. Creepy kids in horror.
Creepiest kid in horror. Huh. Fuck.
Shot.
I always look over at my movies like the answer's just gonna be right there in front of me.
It's just
Like,
gonna
oh
be
yeah, fuck,
there.
it's this.
I mean, we have like so many different things you could go for, from the girls in Nightmare on Elm Street jumping rope to fucking Orphan, that little fucking thing, and what was that other movie like that?
She wasn't a kid.
What was it? Joby, fucking Jumby from the Unborn. Watched that this year.
Yeah.
The kid from the Lost Boys, Insidious, right? I don't know that boy. But mine is gonna be the little fuckers from The Brood. Those little bastards are
a good one.
Creep City. And we covered that on Death by Podcast, and it was
Are we obviously throwing children of the corn out there?
Are we what?
Throw children of the corn out there because those fucking kids are fucked up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're creepy. Man, fuck, I really don't know if I have a creepiest kid. Fucking the kid from the Wraparound and Creep Show always freaks me out, but it's his voice.
Ooh.
Please, Daddy, don't do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me. Why are you talking like that? Stop it. You're grounded. Fucking, here's a speak and spell. You only talk through this now.
Oh man, something just made me
What
laugh.
up, Village of the Damned?
Wait, what'd you say,
Damned. Some
Village of the Damned.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Fucking not from a movie, but from the Twilight Zone original series. They have that episode where that freckled redhead kid, even though it's in black and white, I know he's a.
It's a Good Life.
It's a Good Life. That fucking kid. Oh man, fuck that dude.
Dude,
Fuck
I
that,
fucking
dude.
teach that shit in literature class. The short story, and then watch the episode, and then we watch the movie, and then we watch the sequel episode that came out in the 2000 series, and that's always a fun class.
Oh,
Fucking nuts. That kid is creep.
ugh. I don't like that kid. He bothers me. He looks like he belongs in an Andy Griffith episode.
Oh shit! Speaking
Looking
of
like
Stephen
some
King,
fucking
what
Happy Days
about
alfalfa
horror
shit.
animals?
Horror
I know
animals?
I know Jaws, obviously
Oh.
for you,
Where you want me to start at, son?
but Cujo, that bloody bastard,
King Cobra.
King Cobra,
Dude.
Never saw.
This movie has the dude from Karate Kid in there, Mr. Miyagi.
Ralph Macchio. Oh
No, Mr. Miyagi.
Pat, what's his
Pat
name?
Benatar. He gets
Pat
fucked up.
Benatar. Yeah.
No, it's not Pat Benatar, but
Oh, I
he gets fucked up. And
Pat
these
Morita or something.
special effects are done by the Chiodos brothers. Fantastic. Chiodos brothers did Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Mm. Wow, I
That's
haven't seen that one in a long time.
Oh, dude, Creature Feasters on my shit. Empire of the Ants, fantastic. Komodo, the best James Cameron movie ever made. Piranha 2: The Spawning. Come on now.
I was actually blown away when we did the Alien episode. I was like, he did it, Piranha 2?
Yeah, it's his best movie ever. Everyone's always like, oh no, it's Aliens. Aliens sucks. Fuck Aliens. Fuck what he did to Ripley. Fuck that movie. With your bullshit. Worst movie in the franchise.
It definitely does not hold up as when I watched it back in the day. That's for sure.
Asterisk, not from a technical aspect. Technically, the movie is very well made. He is actually a really talented director, but I hate his scripts. I hate his fucking writing. But he knows how to make a movie beautiful.
That Bill Paxton character was annoying as fuck.
Yeah, Piranha 2: The Spawning.
Ooh.
What are we talking about?
Is it really good though?
God, no. No. It's fun though. I enjoy it, but it needs a better like Blu-ray transfer or something, because the DVD is just dark as shit.
Yeah. A lot of these new movies are doing that new dark tactic where it's like you can't see shit.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I always want to fuck on my TV. I'm like, no, it's just the movie shot shit.
Especially when you try to watch a movie during the day and you got that glare on the TV from the sun. It's like, dude, I just see myself in the fucking TV screen sitting on the couch while fucking Jason is cutting somebody's fucking throat.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, I got another question for you. With you loving zombies, have you ever seen the Dario Argento's cut of Dawn of the Dead? The zombie Dawn of the Dead?
I want that.
Seen that cut?
I don't know.
Shit.
I don't believe.
Because I mean, I stay stacked on that. I got Zombie 3, Zombie 4, Zombie 5. I got Zombie 2, but it's on Blu-ray. I have
Zombie 5. That's supposed to be a sequel to Mario
Zombie
Bava's what's
Killing.
it called?
This is Zombie 5 Killing Birds.
You're upside down.
What? Oh, fuck. Wait, you can't read upside down? Oh, wait, you can't read. I forgot. My bad. Yeah, Zombie 5.
It's just gonna come true sooner or later. I'm telling you.
Where are you, Jerry? Kentucky?
Tennessee, Kentucky.
Where
Jesus, that's lower than where I was born, and I was born in Alabama. No, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Don't tell Jim that though.
How far is Tennessee, Jim?
Where are you at?
It's about 9 to 10 hours, I think.
No, so you're fine. See, I have a 10-hour head start, except I don't drive, so that's gonna be kind of hard. I'll take a bus.
Right, so knowing, like you said before, you didn't know our dynamic, you didn't know our goals. Knowing now, if you were going to keep listening to the show, would you want to hear us talking about your foreign film from 1961, or would you like to hear us bullshit about, like, you know,
Piranha 2: The Spawning? I want to hear y'all bullshit about Piranha 2: The Spawning
series, or Halloween series, or Insidiouses, or something like that. What would you rather hear as a list?
I would definitely want the funner side of it. Like, I'll listen to Death by Podcast if I want to have like deep intellectual thought, and it's always good to have another show that is going to be a much funner endeavor. If I go, man, I'm feeling kind of down at work today, I really want something to just kind of make me laugh, I know I can put that on. The only thing I think y'all should do in the show to make it better is that Jim should probably take off his shirt. It's for the female audience, Jim. You got to work that dynamic.
Take off your top.
People start giving us iTunes comments, I will start taking my shirt off.
Actually, I have I hate iTunes, but I downloaded it so I can start fucking giving people iTunes reviews. And I have a list. And I think Death by Podcast and Slice and Dice are next on my list. I just have to turn on iTunes.
Jerry, if you write that review first on Slice and Dice, I got the socks.
Oh, I do want those socks.
Got the socks.
I do want those socks. I'm a big sock guy. I like socks.
The tag came off, but I still got it.
Oh, tag came off. I don't want it now.
We were sitting here on that episode. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna raffle these off. Meanwhile, I just like was fiddling with it and took the fucking paper off.
Yeah. We just did Puppet Master, and I was talking about the movies I got in my horror pack, and Deathgasm came in there, that heavy metal horror comedy. And I didn't really care for it, but Kenneth, who's a huge fucking metalhead, was like, give it to me. And I'm like, no. And somehow he convinced me that I'm gonna give it to him only if someone goes on iTunes and reviews us and tells me to give it to him. But it can't be anyone that he knows in real life. It has to be like a listener of the show. He can't have like his mom do it, because he would do that shit. He would be like, Mom, go fucking. He'd have his daughter do it. Go write a review, Jade. Go do it. Like,
yeah, I thought Deathgasm was a good fun watch. I did. I don't know.
What'd you say? I missed that.
I thought Deathgasm was a good fun watch when I found it on Netflix. I was like, oh yeah, I'll turn this on. You know, it has metal, it has gore.
Yeah, it was a fun watch, but I don't listen to metal. Like, I'm more into punk and hardcore music, so it doesn't hit with me there. But Kenneth is a huge fucking metalhead. So,
well, it's one of the reasons why the Devil's Candy stood out to me. That whole
I still want to see. I still haven't seen it, but the Blu-ray just got announced. So, because I don't like to spend $5 to rent a movie, I'd rather just spend more money and have a Blu-ray.
Yo, did you ever go on Facebook? There's like these groups where you can like buy digital codes from people.
I'm not in those groups because I know what I'll do and I shouldn't do it. But yeah, I'm in the Blu-ray DVD groups. Like, I got my Hellraiser box set, my fucking Scarlet box. I got this for $50 fucking in one of those groups. Yeah. Dude needed money, and I was like, he might be scamming me, but fuck it, I'm gonna take a risk. And I got it.
See, you know what I got in one of those groups? I got a fucking custom bootleg of Fright Night Part 2 and Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Yeah, I have that guy before he was doing the combo packs, he was just doing Return of the Living Dead 2, and I bought one for me, Jay, and Kenneth as presents for doing the show. Yeah,
Brian
that dude's
Lott.
awesome.
Shout out to Brian Lott.
Yeah. I also another guy just put out one for Brain Scan, which I love Brain Scan after Kenneth made me watch it. And so I ordered another one for me and one for Kenneth and one for Jay because I like to give them presents for doing the podcast. I'm like, here's a random fucking movie.
Nice. Maybe you gotta be a host on our show so you can give us presents.
Yeah, that's just what y'all need. Me on every episode of Slice and Dice.
Woo!
That is not DuckTales.
I don't think we would get to the fucking featured movies of the episode. We just sit here talking about pinatas getting touched on the butt and fucking Jason grabbing a dong and all sorts of weird shit. One last question.
Okay.
Oh shit, I can't read my handwriting.
All right, show's canceled. He can't read. We're done.
Ooh, I'm torn now. Okay, I'll just ask this one. Who is your favorite horror hero?
Vincent Price.
The fuck is
what? What do you mean?
Character. Sorry. Like Ash from The Evil Dead. He looks at the DVD
okay. It's Chief Brody from Jaws because he is actually a hero. And I started smoking cigarettes because of him. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but when I originally started smoking cigarettes, it was because Chief Brody smoked cigarettes.
Oh shit. That's hysterical. My favorite is Reggie from the Phantasm series. Reggie Bannister plays Reggie.
I'm still trying to get a buddy cop movie made where it's Ash and Reggie going around doing shit.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I'm really interested. Jim, who's yours? Because I can't even think of who you would pick.
Like I hate hearing questions and having to think off the top of my fucking head. You got I don't know. Shit.
Use your brain.
Joey got to think of it. I got shit.
I didn't get to think of it, and he shot down my first answer. I had to think twice.
Although, if it was just if it was just from a single movie, it would be
Dr. Loomis.
Oh, Dr. Loomis. There you go.
Very, very interesting character, especially in the Rob Zombie movies. I thought fucking Malcolm McDowell was excellent.
I agree.
Why are you shaking your head, Jim?
He's my favorite Caligula.
Donald Pleasance was incredible. Yes, he was.
Oh gosh, yo, I think we need to cover the Halloween franchise.
Please.
Y'all can call me for Halloween 3. I want dibs on Halloween 3.
We're skipping that.
What? It's the
No,
best
we are
franchise.
not.
Yo,
actually, you know what I would do, Jimmy? I would love to run through 4 to the end. I'd skip 1 and 2.
I don't even think Jim can handle the world right now. He literally is dumbfounded by what you just said. Oh my god, that is the realest facepalm I've ever seen. Right now, that he's giving you.
Shit, Jim's gonna beat me up too now. Jerry, what did I get into here? I got a tag team on his ass.
I think he could still beat both of us up, even if we tried together.
You brought up the Rob Zombie movie, which I do not hate Rob Zombie for original. I don't. Fucking disaster. It should never have been made and just ruined everything that ever. So I don't even want to think about that movie.
So I can still come on for Halloween 3, right?
You can talk all you want about Season of the Witch. You can have a good time with that.
I love Season of the Witch. That's my favorite movie in the franchise.
Probably my favorite show ever if we got to talk about the Halloween franchise.
I just say skip 1 and 2 because I don't know. I'm more interested into when shit starts getting weird.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of want to hear Jim gush about a movie. So I want y'all to do the Halloween franchise because, like, I want to hear Jim actually, like, uncontrollably talk about a movie.
Yeah, me too. I would love to hear that. He's
so I don't reserved.
Think because he hasn't gotten his golden goose. That's gonna come soon. Just like my golden goose is the Phantasm franchise, which we've been trying to do for fucking months. I'm down, Jimmy. I'm down.
If you're down, I'm down.
We need to assess our dates.
Just do like just don't do like the entire franchise in one episode or back to back to back to back. Like break it up, extend it. Do like one every month. And then you're like, okay, we have a guaranteed show every month. It's a Halloween special. And then you can break it up with some of the other shit throughout.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I just think I would prefer to do it probably over like 3 episodes or something like that.
Well, yeah, well, with y'all's thing, y'all actually do 2 movies at a time, so you can do it. You can do 1 and 2, and then if he really does want to skip 3, do 4 and 5.
2, we can do 2 per episode, and it's only 4 episodes. There's only 8, unless we do remakes. But
I did those with Death by Podcast and the Rob Zombie retrospective, so I'm down to skip those.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Just the original series. Series ends on part 8, Resurrection. So,
yep. Sounds like a plan, Holmes. I'm down.
I want to see
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Whoever comes on board. Sorry, I was just thinking I would kind of want to do 4 and 5 together. So 1 and 2, 3.
No, just do the Michael Myers Halloweens. Just
yeah.
That way you do 1 and 2, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and then when you do 8, if you want to tag on another in that, you can quickly run through. Like, oh, there you go. When you do 8, instead of doing another movie, you run through Season of the Witch and your thoughts on the Rob Zombie ones, and then bam, you're done. 4 episodes.
Right. Hey, it's only 1 month since we've shifted to every week, so I guess we've unconsciously shifted to every week. All right, let's wrap this up. I got the dog barking, my little puppy, my little girl. All right, guys. Jerry, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, Kill the Cast. We're a show and we do things. Also, Married with Children podcast is a lot of fun if you like Married with Children. We interviewed the actress who played Marcy recently, who was also in Fright Night.
Fucking awesome.
And yeah, Kill the Cast. Come join us. We recently just did Puppet Master and shit. It was fantastic. And yeah, those are my 2 plugs. Go Horrorphilia Network.
All right. Jimmy,
for Slice and Dice.
I'm out, folks. I got to run. Jim, close the show. Love you, boys.
I will, buddy. All right, man. Later. Anybody for Slice and Dice next week? We have 2 episodes coming up. Hopefully, we have a big guest coming up on the 5th. I'm not gonna. But when we do it and we get it in the can, we will put it out there on the network and put it on YouTube. And it should be for any horror purist. You'll know who it is and whatnot. So it's going to be looking forward to that. But our next episode will be next Tuesday for July 4th. Shit, now I can't remember who our guest is. Do you know what's the director's name who does that Safe House? Do you remember who we're talking about?
No.
Something Hunt. Sorry, I don't remember his name. Yeah, I believe it's called Safe House. It has a lot of buzz about it, but he'll be on next week on July 4th. So that's what we have coming up. So everybody have a good week and look for our upcoming episodes. We're booked through mid-July. So coming up with Slice and Dice, and thank you for telling him to do more movies that I'll be into, not 50-year-old movies and shit.
Yeah, I want to see you go off on a movie. Like, I want to see, like, you, like, just dive fucking balls in. I want to see this or hear this or both for your show.
I have my and 1960 Italian film is not it.
Yeah.
No offense to the Don. Sorry he couldn't be on tonight, but I watched his movies. Something I would have watched otherwise, but I watched them for the Don. Get your damn headset fixed. Get you on the show soon. Other than that, Jerry, you're welcome any damn time, dude. I really do. I don't have any problems with you being on the show at all. So, yeah, not a problem.
Sweet. Thank you for having me. I enjoy getting to do a little mini interview with you and asking you weird questions.
More questions. Think of more questions and send them to me pre-game so I can actually plan answers for them. I don't sound like a fucking moron.
Yeah, there was no pre-gaming here, so I was like, fuck it, let's go.
Go 2 hours and 18 minutes, but we did.
Yeah. So, hey, well, when you're having fun.
Not a problem. All right, buddy. Yeah, keep on listening, and thanks again for being on tonight, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Hell yeah. I'm down. Thanks for having me.
All right, bud. Have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Later, folks.